Lights on, and let the spotlight blaze over the British political battlefield, where today unfolds a clash unlike anything seen before. On the 1st of November 2025, a shocking new poll sent tremors through Westminster. The Labour Party has fallen to 4th place, trailing behind Reform UK, the Greens, and even the Conservatives, with support sinking to just 15%. But the story doesn't stop at the numbers. It's about Sir Keir
responsible enough to pay tax, responsible enough to join the army, and should be able to cast a ballot. So, why aren't they responsible enough to become local party bosses for his party? Well, I'm joined by broadcaster Danny Kelly and editor and contributor at Turn Left Media, Ben McLean. Ben, I'll start with you. I mean, listen, I think that gets to a point. We've seen a ministerial resignation this week over basic hypocrisy, where you just start to go, do you ever mean anything you ever say? Do you get that feeling as someone who's on the left? Do you still get that feeling from this government?
Oh, Keir Starmer is a morally corrupt serial liar. So to give you a bit of background into why the left of the former left of the Labour Party dislikes Keir Starmer so much, in 2020 he ran to be leader of the Labour Party, and I was one of the people who voted for him on the basis that he was essentially like, I quite like Jeremy Corbyn. A view here which is probably not widely held, but I quite like Jeremy Corbyn, and he essentially sold himself as Jeremy Corbyn in a suit. He made 10 pledges and said, okay, so we're gonna stick to these 10 pledges. But the word pledge, it's a cleaning fluid for Keir Starmer. He made the pledges. As soon as he was elected leader of the Labour Party, everything switched and he started listening to Morgan McSweeney. He broke all of his promises. I've probably disliked Keir Starmer, and the left of the left more generally in this country has probably disliked Keir Starmer for a lot longer than people have been paying attention to his dishonesty in terms of his overall dishonesty. As to the 18, 16-year-old thing, of course it's hypocrisy. Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's
hard to defend, isn't it? It's quite hard to defend it, but you're realistic. It's quite hard to defend it, I think. That's the kind of the problem he's got here. Danny, I guess one of the problems people have is that Labour, before the election, sort of sold themselves to the country as they held the Tories' feet over the fire for anything they had done wrong, and they said, we'll be better, we're greater than good, and it's come out. I mean, within the first few weeks of their government, it was getting like this. Now we're over a year in, and it feels like it's just one hypocrisy after another, eh?
Do you know what? I can't think of a politician who is more loathed than Keir Starmer. And I go back to, like, Maggie Thatcher, and she was loathed. I go back to Boris Johnson, and because of the referendum, he was loathed.
Yeah.
But it's incredible to hear left-wingers, like my new friend Ben here, who dislikes him so much, he's prepared to come on national telly and call him morally corrupt, or words to that effect, Ben. And in fact, I think you said a liar.
Yes.
Yeah, which you would never get really with the Johnson era or the Thatcher era. Supporters were supporters. It was tribal. But it seems to have split the tribe.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer. And he is loathed by so many people. He's come on, like, he should not have said, I'm going to smash the gangs. You know, he called Rwanda a gimmick. Now, we may have differing views about immigration and lads coming over on dinghies, Ben and I, but you should have allowed the planes to take off to see if it was a gimmick or not. There are people, how much they cost the British taxpayer for these lads? Mostly lads.
Thousands of pounds.
Millions a day.
6 million, I think the hotels are a day.
Okay, if Rwanda had been a relative success, you make that back. It's like being in business. You invest 50k to make 60k. You invest 60k to make 70k. You invest a lot of money in Rwanda, hoping that it pays off, and then you make that money back because the kids ain't coming over on the dinghies.
I think Ben, the thing about hypocrisy is this: is that British people elect politicians on the basis that they're going to do the job they promised that they've done and all going to do, right? And I think time and time again, when you see things like this, where they say we're going to have votes 16 because we're told the public everyone's responsible. Right, all these young lads and young girls are responsible enough to vote, but actually they can't be part of the Labour Party. They can't be an official, and they can't stand for office. I mean, it stinks, doesn't it? To people, it stinks.
It's obvious hypocrisy. I think one of the problems with Keir Starmer's approach to the whole migration thing, and of course we're going to disagree on this, is that that there are cases you can make that are appealing to the right, that are honest, I think. to do with migration. For example, in his final speech as US President, Ronald Reagan made the case that the US was the custodians of not just the freedom of America, but the custodians of the freedom of the entire world because of the way that they accepted refugees, because of the way they accepted asylum seekers, because of the way that they accepted immigrants in general into their melting pot of a country. It was part of American freedom. That's the sort of image that I want Britain to have. I want to see Britain, I want to see figures like Jeremy Corbyn, Zach Polanski and Zara Sultana standing up for the rights of refugees in a way that's strong, and I just haven't seen from Keir Starmer.
Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Reform UK MP Lee Anderson has launched a scathing attack on the Labour government after it was confirmed that a second foreign criminal had been mistakenly released from prison. Speaking to GB News, Anderson took aim at David Lammy for failing to confirm whether he was aware of the incident during Prime Minister's questions, exclaiming, "What on earth are we playing at?" Anderson didn't hold back, tearing into the government live on air and exposing their failings for all to see. Watch the full clip. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below.
That's the Reform UK Chief Whip and the MP for Ashfield, Lee Anderson. Lee, let's start, if I could, just with your initial reaction. Here we go again. Another foreign offender, foreign sex offender, simply walk free into British streets.
I know, it's we're not shocked though, are we, Martin? Again, another sex monster prowling our streets, released early. They keep saying by accident. It's incompetence. I mean, what are they doing with these prisoners, Martin? When they're giving them a set of keys? I mean, they're just walking out the jail. I mean, back in the day, you used to dig a tunnel to get out of prison, or try and break out. Nowadays, it appears you just walk up to reception or prison guard, and then you're on your bike, you're gone. And like all has just said, we're turning into a country now where it's not safe to walk our streets, and this country should never be like that. But when you see the incompetence, not just in the prison service, but at the highest level in government as well. We saw David Lammy today at the dispatch box. He was asked 6 times by James Cartledge, has anybody been released by accident over the past week or so? He refused to answer. Now, I thought James was a little bit weak at PMQs. The first question was great. The second question, he should have knocked him out with the second question and said, "Are you aware there is a prisoner now on the loose?" Then he's got him, and then he's got to start answering questions. He squirmed, did Lammy, but he got off the hook. And the only thing that James did right at the end of PMQs is raise a point of order. He read off his phone, I think it was a Telegraph article or Sky News, that actually we had got this sex monster on the loose somewhere in London.
Lee, in the time it took you to walk over here, we've heard more information. That is, we had confirmation, the Times are reporting this, and we've had it confirmed by Catherine Fawcett, our political correspondent, that David Lammy not only knew about this before PMQs, he had a pre-prepared statement ready to go. He chose not to put that out. But you're exactly right. If he'd been asked the correct question, yes or no, has a second foreign national been released from prison, he would have had to have said yes, otherwise he'd been lying under parliamentary oath, right?
Yeah, it was incredibly weak from the Tory frontmates today. They could have nailed him on the second question, and all James did was keep asking the same question. We're sat there on the back benches actually pulling our hair out saying, why does he keep asking the same question? What does he know? Has it happened? And yes, he knew it had happened. Lammy knew it had happened. So on the second question, he should have gone for the throat. And you know what? Lammy would have been embarrassed. And like you say, he would have to either admit it or deny it. And if he denied it, then he's lying in Parliament.
They're blaming the Conservatives. They're blaming previous errors. They're blaming a lack of funding.
Of course, Brexit while we're at it, shall we?
Yeah, they're going to blame everything and anything. I'm surprised they haven't blamed Nigel Farage yet. But the book has to stop with the government in power. The book surely has to stop with the Justice Minister, David Lammy.
Yeah, he should have made a statement. He should. You know, there's no reason, I don't think, why he could not made a brief statement before PMQs today, and that for him would have knocked it straight in the head. But like I say, James Cartledge come with 6 questions. First question's fine. Second question should have been the killer question, but it dragged on and on and on. And basically, we sat here now talking about something what we knew had happened all along.
How do you think the British public are going to take this news? What do you think they're going to make of our political class, of our inability to control our prisons? I mean, I find it heartbreaking when I hear, Lee Anderson, that pensioners are now terrified there could be a sex offender hiding in their sheds.
Yeah, it's terrifying, Martin. I mean, you know, like I said before, nobody should feel unsafe in this country walking the streets or sat at home watching TV or whatever they're doing. But it just seems that this government, and they can blame the previous government all they want. Yes, they made mistakes, they made lots of mistakes, but they're in power. They've been in power for 18 months, and we've seen in the last 2 weeks, 2 of these sex attackers just walk out of prison. I mean, what are we playing at? Seriously.
Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.